I'd never been to an event before Cultural Heritage. When I started working for them, that was when I first really started learning about the impact that they had, really. Not to the extent that I know now. Perhaps maybe a small amount that I may have heard about in school, but when I started with Cultural Heritage and learning how much of an impact they actually made, it was quite surprising, really, because I didn't know the extent to which they contributed, really, and the scale of how much it was much greater than I had already known. So Cultural Heritage definitely opened my eye to their impact, really. I don't think enough people know. I don't think enough people, first of all, from our culture know of the impact. And I think that's very important. And also, I don't think other people from other cultures know as well, because when there's remembrance services in November every year, I think a lot of focus is directed at the main kind of soldiers that were on the front lines, but they weren't really much. There wasn't much focus on the British Indian Army, I don't think, and I think that should be changed. And I think in the future that will, with what Cultural Heritage is doing, I think that's it's spearheading this campaign of just trying to get more kind of notice out there that yes, the British Indian Army was involved and they had a huge impact. So yeah, I think they're doing a good job. I think the British Indian Army definitely does affect how you feel about your identity within a country, which sometimes when you're from other cultures you can feel out of place, but when you know that your people, your ancestors have fought for this country, for its same cause, alongside a lot of people whose ancestors also come from this country, then you do feel a bit more integrated than you did before. So I think it's important for our own identity that we and establish that kind of sense of belonging, really, knowing that our ancestors fought for this land. I think together, as working for Cultural Heritage, just putting on as many events as possible and increase maybe. I think a lot of awareness is spread through social media these days, so I think that's probably the best way, I think, to really get the message out there that what the British Indian Army did was, their efforts were huge, so putting it on social media, I think that's the best way to really get it out there, I think. I think so, because, well, whenever you hear, if you hear any racist remarks towards people directed at, from, like, people from Indian or Pakistani descent, and they're being told things like, oh, this isn't your country, or something like this, well, their ancestors fought for the country as well, so I think it's, if they knew this, had this knowledge, then they'd be better equipped to tackle these racist remarks, really, because that's such a huge thing to be able to say, that my ancestors fought for this country as well. How can I be any less entitled to live here than you? So I think it's very important, yeah. Well, when I was at school, I didn't get taught about. I got taught about the World War, and spent quite a lot of time looking at the World War in primary school and secondary school, and very, very, if at all, didn't really talk much about the British Indian Army and their contributions. Obviously, there's a lot of history to be looked at outside the British Indian Army as well, but maybe perhaps a small amount could have been focused at the British Indian Army. So I think more can be done by schools to focus on it, I think.